Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have I have turkey with gravy, I have scalloped potatoes with cheese, and I have some good old Brussels sprouts. This looks really good. I can't wait to eat it. And today I'm going to be talking about the disappearance my bad, the disappearance of Elisa Lam. But before I get started into her case, I'm gonna take a bite because I've been waiting patiently to eat. Look at this steam. I don't think you can see it. Looks so good. Oh, yes. These are really good. How you guys been? So the other day I told you guys about the shed that I'm going to be building. So I actually went to Home Depot, had to get the measurements for the floor that I'm going to be getting for it, and the price of the bricks that are going to be holding the shed in place. So it's a lot of little things that you'll have to really look into before just building it, because I was just going to build it like on the floor, but my mom was like making a point to me, and she was like, well, you have to make sure that when it rains that the shed doesn't get like filled with water on the inside. So I was like, yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna have to buy some bricks to like keep it up so that when it rains the water just like doesn't even get in it. So these are so good. I haven't had Brussels sprout. No, these are not Brussels sprouts. What? Asparagus. I'm telling you. Asparagus, Brussels sprouts, I swear. I guess I get both of them confused because they both kind of like look like each other, and I don't really eat both of them. Asparagus, I hardly eat, and Brussels sprouts, I definitely don't eat. That's like a no-no to me. This is really good. It says it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I'm like, I hate when it rains. Let's try the turkey. So I got all this at Smart & Final, and it was really good. That's good. And I also have my favorite go-to drink. I swear I drink this drink all the time. I have some Tabasco. I just dropped my towel. Pick it up. Shake it off. I also have some ranch for the potatoes. So I was watching the documentary that they have on Netflix right now. I definitely recommend it to you guys if you don't know who Elisa Lam is. Or I'm sorry, I think her name Elisa. Elisa. Or I think it's Elisa Lam. I don't want to say her name wrong. But I just think what happened to her was so sad, and it's just crazy. Like yeah, I was watching a documentary and I thought it was really sad. So let's get started. I had written everything down, but I'm gonna use my computer too because I want to get more information and more details, and I didn't have too much time. So Elisa Lam was 21 from Canada. She disappeared January 31st, 2013, and she died February 2nd, 2013. So February 2nd is my little sister's birthday. And Elisa, I don't know if she had an older sister or she had a younger sister, but I know she had a sister. And it just makes me so sad because, like, I have two sisters, and it's just like, this could have happened to, like, anybody, you know? So I'm just like, that's really sad that her sister's never gonna get her back, you know? And her mom and dad are never gonna get her back. So it's like, it's sad. But okay, so she was a student at the University of British Columbia. And so she wanted to go on an adventure, from what I was watching on the documentary. Like, she was saying that she needed a change and she wanted to do something spontaneous. And so she was kind of like saying that she kind of had to like get a job and save up money and kind of convince her parents to let her go, even though she was 21, to go, you know, on an adventure or to travel, you know, by herself. And I think that's really crazy, like, that she traveled by herself. I know a lot of people travel by themselves all the time, but us as women and girls to travel by ourselves, it's like, it's very scary nowadays because, like, anything can happen to us, like anything, you know. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to men or like you know, boys and teenage boys, like they definitely do go missing too, but it's crazy that like she had the courage to go and travel because she was from Canada. So she came here to Los Angeles, well, not Los Angeles, but she was going to be traveling to all these different places when she came from Canada. So one was she went to San Diego first, and then her next stop, which was here in Los Angeles, and then the next stop that she was going to go was to Santa Cruz and then San Francisco. All of them sound amazing. Like, I love San Diego. I've been to San Diego. Like, I've done video, you know, a video in San Diego. And you know, LA, I don't live that far. I live like 15 minutes from LA. And I've never been to Santa Cruz, so I don't know. Maybe it's pretty over there, the beach, I'm not too sure. And San Francisco is definitely one of the places that I want to go to. I've definitely want to go to Alcatraz, so I could see why San Francisco was one of the places that she wanted to visit. So she had a Tumblr account, and on the documentary, it was telling people how like she liked to express her emotions and her thoughts and everything on Tumblr. Like, that was her basically that was her journal. Like, she would write everything and anything down. And the first thing that I noticed when she was posting a lot on her Tumblr was that she had said that she was down to meeting new guys, even though she didn't know them here in Los Angeles. And I guess anywhere, you know, like in San Diego or whatever. And that to me was kind of like a red flag. Like, meeting strangers on the internet can be very, very dangerous. Like, you don't know who is truly on the other side of that chat, you know? So it's like, when she said that, I was like, man, like, that's just, you know, that's something that you have to be very careful with. My sister's cat's just staring at me. She's like, I want some of your food. But yeah, I was just like watching the documentary. I was so hooked. And I was actually gonna do the Donner Party. But then I ended up just doing this one because I was watching the documentary already. But I was doing like research about the Donner Party. So that will be in my next video. So let's see. What else did I write? I didn't get to write that much because I didn't have that much time. Today was a pretty busy day. So the day that she had went missing, she had went to a bookstore in LA called The Last Bookstore, and she was looking for a book that wasn't too heavy, that she could travel with, and something good to just keep her on the keep her company like while she was traveling, because remember, she was traveling alone. But you know what makes me like think, like, why didn't her sister go with her? Like, I get it, like maybe her sister was busy with school or busy with work, or you know, maybe her sister has kids, but I don't know, guys. Like, I just feel like if my little sister, because my little sister's 20, if my little sister said, hey, I'm going to San Francisco, I'm going to San Diego, I'm going to Las Vegas, you know, and I'm going to Arizona by myself, like, I would definitely not let her go by herself. I mean, yeah, I get it. She's 21. I'm 20. I was going to say she's 21, but she's only 20. I get it that she's 20 and she's not a little kid anymore. But I would have said no. I would have, like, talked her into, like, letting me go with her, because it's just, like, things are so much different now, you know, and it's like, I don't know. I just, like, wouldn't let her go by herself. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, I would just be like, well, I'm tagging along, you know? And I'm sure her sister probably regrets, like, now, you know, thinking back, like, I should have just let her gone with, I should have just gone with her. You know, I should have never let her gone by herself. And what was really sad was the day that her parents were doing, like, a press conference with the LAPD. The LAPD was basically saying, like, she was missing, and I guess she went missing. Yeah, I guess she disappeared on January 31st. So I'm not sure what day the police were doing, like, a press conference, and her parents were there and her sister was there, and the police were just asking everybody to please help them, you know, help them find her and get her home safe. And her parents were in the back, and they looked so sad. Like, her sister and her parents looked so sad. Like, I can't even imagine, like, what they were going through, because, like, I have a son, and, like, I couldn't even wrap my head around, like, how they were feeling, or, like, what they were thinking, you know? Like, it's just, like, I don't know, guys. Some of these disappearance cases, I watch them, and then, like, I stay up thinking, like, where did this person go? Like, how does somebody simply just disappear? Like, excuse me? I know they don't, like, I know they don't just disappear. Like, things have to happen to people, you know? Like, they don't just, like, poof. vanish, you know? Like, it's just crazy to me, you know? I brought ranch just in case for my potatoes, but honestly, like, these scallop potatoes are so good. Like, they don't even need anything on them. So, her family is looking for her. Everyone's looking for her. And they can't find her. And let's see what else I could get. Okay, so this is when they start to go. The police start to like backtrack like all the places that she went. So they know that she went to the bookstore, and then the next place that she went to was back to the hotel, and she wasn't at the hotel. Obviously, the police had went into her room, and they said that by the time they had went to her room, it had already been cleaned up because she was staying at the hotel Cecil Hotel Cecil. And let me just tell you guys something. That hotel is so crazy. Like, that hotel has so many suicides, and so many things have happened at that hotel that I was reading like every thing, every little thing that's happened at that hotel. I was reading it to my older sister one night, and she was just like, oh my god, like, that's so crazy. Like, how many people have committed suicide at that hotel? Like, that's just crazy, you know? It's like, why do they go to that hotel and commit suicide? You know, it's crazy. So they go to her room. She's not there. Her room had already been cleaned out. And I guess the person that had cleaned out the room, the detectives talked to the guy, and the guy said, yeah, there's just like a couple of stuff that she left behind. I put it in a bag and I put it downstairs with the rest of the things that people have left at the hotel when they check out. And so the police go downstairs and they look to see what she had left behind. She had left behind her wallet. She had left behind her passport. She left behind her laptop. Like, this was like all the things that somebody who's traveling doesn't just leave behind. Like, I lost my computer. Well, not really lost it, but I guess I left it at the hotel that I was staying at. And I was like losing my mind. I was like, oh my god, I'm never going to get back that computer. And thank God nobody had checked into that room. So when I called them, they were like, yeah, you know, it was left behind. Like, we have it here. I was like, oh my god, like, so relieved that they had it, because, you know, computers are not cheap. Like, they're not. And I feel like her computer wasn't something that she would leave behind, because she used her computer as a journal, because she would go on Tumblr all the time. So I feel like it just wouldn't make sense that she would have left something like that behind, because it was like her baby to her. Like, she would always leave like things on her Tumblr, like a post, and just doesn't make sense for somebody just to leave their laptop behind, you know? So it just definitely makes you think, like, under the circumstances, like, when people say that, you know, like, maybe she committed suicide, like, I don't know, guys. It's crazy. So let me go a little bit more into it. So let's see if I can make the screen big. Yeah, we go. Okay, there we go. Because I'm so blind. Okay. Okay, so then they find the elevator, video, which if you guys never seen the elevator video, it definitely makes you scratch your head and you're like kind of confused, like what is she doing, like what's going on. So she's in the elevator and she starts pressing random numbers, and then I'm gonna play it just so I could tell you guys like what's going on. Okay, so she goes into the elevator. Don't think too much at anything about it. So then she starts pressing all these random numbers, right? And then she's waiting for the elevator to shut. The elevator isn't shutting, and she goes like near the elevator to see why it's not shutting. She pokes her head and goes like this to see if somebody's like coming, and then she's just waiting. And then she starts moving to kind of like hide herself, and she's just waiting and waiting, and then she pokes her head out again and she goes out to see if like somebody's there, and she's just waiting right there by the elevator, and she steps out, and so she's looking. She steps out again, she's looking, and then she's doing like this weird thing with her legs where like she's stepping, she takes a step and then she takes a step back, and then I guess she like is looking, but I don't know who she's looking for because she's by the side of the elevator, so you could only just capture her back. And I guess she's just there. She's just waiting. And then she puts her head like she puts her hands on her hands like that, and she goes like this, kind of like, this is too much for me, like what's going on? And then she starts pushing all of the buttons again, and for some odd reason the elevator's not shutting even though it's supposed to shut. And then she steps out again, and then she starts doing this thing with her hands where she's like doing this and going like this and just going like this. It's definitely weird. And it looks like she's talking to somebody. If you were to ask me like, does this look like she's talking to somebody, it definitely does look like she's having a conversation with anybody. Unfortunately, it doesn't show if she was, and then she steps off to the side, and that's it. And that's the end of her video. That was captured from the elevator's camera that the hotel has. And so, okay, so this is when it gets really weird. So the hotel starts getting a lot of complaints from people, let's see, from guests staying at the hotel. They're getting like a lot of complaints about the water pressure, and that the watercolor looks weird, that it's like a dark dirty brown color. So the concierge, I think, these are so hard to eat, like it like just became mush. So okay, so they're complaining about the water and the taste of the water and the color of the water. And so they go to check the water tanks to see like why the water's coming out the way it is. And on February 19th, they discover Elisa's body floating in the tank. Imagine, like, I don't know how I would ever be able to trust water again. Like, these people were drinking this water for at least, like, I mean, she disappeared on what? She disappeared on February 2nd, and they find her body February 19th. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's a long time. And to be drinking that water, like, man, that is crazy. So, it says that they found her body, and in the tanks up above the okay, so they have tanks of water. That's where they get, like, the water to shower, you know, the water to drink and all of that. So that is located how would you say it, like, outside, like, okay, so how would I even say this? Like, why am I acting so weird? Okay, so it's basically like you have to go up these steps, and then there's a door, and it leads out to the, like, I guess the, like, the top, like the top of the hotel. And it says, let's see, it says, I'm so blind, you guys. Okay, it's on top of the roof. Why am I so, God, why did it take me that long? Okay, so it was on top of the roof, and it says located on the roof, providing water to guests, a kitchen, and a coffee shop. So it was like all that water was going to all these different places, and people were just drinking it, not even like knowing that they were drinking, like, that water. So then it says that the train was cut. The tank was drained and cut open since a maintenance hatch was too small to accommodate equipment needed to remove Liam's body. On February 24th, the Los Angeles Coroner Office issued a finding of accidental drowning with bipolar disorder as a significant factor. The full coroner's report, received in June, stated that Liam's body had been found naked. Clothing similar to that she was wearing in the elevator was floating in the water, coated with sand-like particles. Her watch and her room key were also found with her. Liam's body was moderately decomposed and bloated. It was mostly greenish with some marbling, evident of the abdominal and skin separation. It says there was no physical trauma or sexual assault or suicide. Test incomplete because not enough of her blood was preserved. I don't know, guys. I think that I mean, so they don't even know if she had been sexually assaulted or if it was suicide, because her body had been in that water for such a long time that it was just like, it just, any evidence that would have been on her body if they would have just found her sooner. But I mean, I don't even think they would have found her body if it wasn't like for the water tasting weird. Like, what, let's say for example, like the water and the color of the water just wasn't that color, like it wasn't dark. What if it was just regular water, and um they would have never found her body in there? Like, that's sad. So I'm reading the unresolved issues, so let me just read them real quick. Sorry if I'm not looking like at the camera, I'm just trying to read so I could tell you guys like what's going on. So it says, the investigation had determined how Lamb, sorry, why do I keep saying Liam? I'm so blind, guys, sorry. Lamb died, but did not offer an explanation as to how she got into the tank in the first place. Exactly. So that's why I don't understand. Like, when I was watching the documentary, it said that in order to go to those tanks, like there was a door, and you had to have a security card to get outside to the water tanks. So how did she just like go out there? Like, oh, I get it, sometimes like they don't lock them or whatever, but this particular day they said that those doors were locked. So how did she manage to, okay, so let's say for example like the doors were unlocked, and so she went out there. Like, how did she even go into the tank? And like, why would she even go into the tank if it was suicide? Like, so many people have jumped out of the windows from the Cecil Hotel. Why didn't she just jump from the like window? Or if she was gonna kill herself, like she was at the rooftop, why didn't she just jump from the rooftop? So it doesn't make sense that like if it was suicide that she would go and just drown herself in water. And like, not even to mention like how, okay, like it said that that latch to get into the water tank was so heavy. Like, how did she manage to get in there? Because in her pictures she's like this skinny little like figure, and it's just like, how can, like, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's just like, if it was really heavy, like how did she manage to lift it up and then um put herself in the water? And then it says that her clothes weren't on her. Like, did she take her clothes off, then put her clothes in the water tank? It's just like all this stuff just doesn't make sense. Like how it played out, it really didn't make sense. And then like let's say for example like she did keep her clothes on, and like maybe within time like her clothes came off because like her body bloated and then her clothes came off. I don't know, guys, like it just doesn't make sense. So it says, okay, so see right here, it says, okay, so it says, how did she get into the tank in the first place? Doors and stairs that access the hotel's roof are locked, with only staff having the passcodes and keys, and any attempt to force them would supposedly have triggered an alarm. See, like that just doesn't make sense. And then it says, however, the hotel's fire escape could have allowed her to bypass those security measures. If she or someone who might have accompanied her there had known. A video made by a Chinese user after Lam's death had posted to the internet showed that the hotel's roof was easily accessible. Accessible. It says the fires through the fire escape, and that the two lids of the water tank were open. Huh. Okay, so supposedly the water tanks were open. But still, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you're going to commit suicide, why not jump out of a window? Or why not jump from the roof? Like, why would she go through all that trouble just to drown herself? Like, it, excuse me, it just doesn't make any sense. It says, apart from the questions of how she got on the roof, others asked if she could have gotten into the tank. How she had gotten into the tank by herself. All 4 tanks were 4 by 8 foot cylinders propped on concrete blocks. There's no fixed access to them, and hotel workers had to use a ladder to look into the water. They were protected by heavy lids that would be difficult to replace from within. Police dogs that searched through the hotel for Lam, even on the roof shortly after her disappearance, were noted, did not find any trace of her. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, this, what's it called? My food's cold already, but it's okay. This disappearance and everything that happened to her was just so crazy. Like, people said, okay, maybe she was off her medicine and she was hallucinating or whatnot. It just still doesn't make sense as to how she would get up to the rooftop, open that lid, and then put herself in there. Like, it just, I don't know, guys. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So it says the autopsy report and its conclusions have been questioned. For instance, it does not say what the result of the rape kit and fingernail kit were, or even if they were processed. Okay, so it says right here, it says suggestions that have been broken down during the period of time her body decomposed in the tank, or that she might have taken rare cocktails of such drugs that a normal screen would not detect. So, and then it says right here, in all records, pooling of blood and Liam's body, which some observers discussed was a sign of sexual abuse. However, one pathologist has noted it could have resulted from bloating. The course of the body's decomposition and her return, and I don't know, guys, even the coroner's appeared to be was accident. So they're just basically saying, like, they don't understand, like, how this could have happened. Like, so it says, in September, Lam's parents filed a wrongful death suit claiming that the hotel failed to inspect and seek out hazards in the hotel that presented an unreasonable risk of danger to guests and others, and seeking unspecified damages and burial costs. The hotel argued it could have not been reasonably foreseen that Lam might have entered the water tank, and since it remained unknown on how Lam got in the water, no liability could be assigned for failing to prevent it. It says in 2015 the suit was dismissed. It's crazy, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Like, do you think somebody drugged her and put her in there? I mean, it could have happened like that. Like, maybe she met somebody and they killed her. They put her body in the water to cover it up. I don't know, guys. Like, this one, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it really doesn't. Like, she was so pretty too. It's like, it's sad. I'm just looking at images. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just, it's crazy, guys. It's just like that hotel in general just has like some really bad things happen. Like, Richard Ramirez stayed there. Some Australian serial killer stayed there. Like, and then I was watching Ghost Adventures. They go to the hotel and they're like trying to connect with her, and I haven't finished it, so I definitely need to finish it and watch it. But wow, guys, it's crazy. It's definitely one of those, like, I would definitely say it's like an unsolved mystery. Like, they can't even say exactly how she died. And like, I mean, it's like all the evidence is not, like, there's no sign of evidence on her body, and it's just like, it's sad, you know. She went on vacation to get away and to go and see things and, you know, go to new places and see new things, and it's like she didn't even get the chance to, because she died. It's like, that's so sad, you know. I'm definitely full. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Comment below and let me know, like, what do you think personally? I know this happened like in 2013, but it's definitely just one of those that's like, it's never gonna like go away. People are always gonna wonder like what happened to her. It's sad. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.